You can make one mistake and it can cost you your freedom. People acting like crashing out is cool. So you crash out and do somebody harm, or you rob somebody, or you scamming, or you this and that. The thing is, okay, that's fine and dandy, but everything got consequences. So when you commit a crime, you putting your freedom at risk. You gotta sit back and you really gotta contemplate to where as though like, is this worth me losing a year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 25 years, life in prison for this mistake that I made? Because if you talk to anybody in jail, you know, people be making it like it's all cool, but if you talk to anybody in jail, 9 times out of 10, they ready to come home. Like, ain't nobody in jail like, oh yeah, this good, man, this where I want to be at. I don't want to come home. You ain't gonna hear nobody say that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody I know that went to prison, they was calling for cash apps, they was calling for visitations, they wanted to be seen, they wanted letters, they wanted pictures, they wanted like bonds, lawyers. You can't go nowhere. You ain't got no money. If you were heterosexual, the opposite sex is not gonna be in there with you, you know, besides guards and all that. But as far as in just the abundance of the opposite sex out here in the world, ain't gonna be none of that. You know, and then when you go to prison, I mean, it's gonna be people in there who just like you. Or you may be just like you, but they might be tougher than you. They might be they might have a little bit more screws loose than you. So, you know, at the end of the day, it should be common sense, but at the end of the day, prison just ain't where it's at. So, you know, everybody be acting like, you know, they ready to go to jail, or at least they don't mind going to jail. But I know people that done killed people, and when they was in there, man, I can't wait to come home. Man, I can't wait to come home. I can't wait to come home. That's all I was hearing. I wasn't hearing like, shit, I'm good, leave me in this motherfucker. I'm straight. I wasn't hearing it. So, you know, that's just being real. Okay, now, the third mistake that should be avoided when you're young is being an addict. Being addicted to a mind-altering substance. From age 18 to age 30, I was taking anywhere from like damn near like I got up to taking like 100 milligrams of oxycodone, Percocet. You know what I'm saying? / acetaminophen. And I struggle with it. You know, it was a struggle. Like, you know, when you don't have it. One thing about opiates is it's a mind thing and a body thing. You get what I'm saying? Meaning, like, you know, not only do you mentally want the narcotic, physically, you know, you have withdrawals from not having the narcotic. So, I didn't have like the harshest withdrawals, but I mean, it used to be times where I couldn't sleep. You know, I would have the chills. You know, I just want to feel good, you know, and I just want to be myself. My personal thing is to just be sober, because I feel like anything that's like a mind-altering substance, it's like it clouds your judgment. You know what I'm saying? And you will do things that you may not or may have done, but you probably wouldn't have done it if you weren't high or if you weren't drunk. And then you got shit like Xanax and alcohol, to where if you that much addicted to it, you can like die from trying to abruptly stop taking it. You get what I'm saying? So I just feel like I saw a lot of people that they mess their life up, include myself, experimenting with drugs. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, they don't talk about it. You get what I'm saying? But these things need to be talked about in the household, because you got kids that will lead other kids astray. You got grown-ups that'll lead kids astray. You got kids that may just be curious and want to try things, you know. And then you got influential people out here that do drugs, and if it's nobody really talking about the consequences of using drugs, you know, it's like they don't think about it in their way. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like being drug free, I know it's cliche to say it, but I just feel like drug free is the way to go, because they also dull your senses. You know what I'm saying? So you know, and it's a money thing. Like, you think about it, like if you smoking, or if you doing cocaine, you doing pills, you doing syrup, you drinking, like that stuff add up. So a lot of people, they would have more money in their pocket if they didn't have a habit. Like my cousin, he used to drink syrup, you know what I'm saying? And that was one of the things that he told me that always stuck with me. He was like, man, cuz if somebody ain't got no habits, they should be rich. And that's true. Because if you think about, like, say, even if you just think about, you buy a pack of cigarettes a day, like right now, cigarettes $10. When I was smoking cigarettes, they were $6. But I'm just using this as an example. You can fill in the blank with how much your habit costs. But if you smoke cigarettes, and the cigarettes is $10, and you run through one pack a day, so that's 10 times 7, that's 70. So that means 70, that's 140, then that would be 280, so that would be $300 a month on just cigarettes. So I'm pretty sure that may be double, triple, quadruple, or more for a lot of people's drug habits. But when you really just think about how much you paying per day, like and if you write it down, because that's what I did. I started writing down, like, damn, I'm spending that much. I'm spending thousands a month on getting high. And you think about it, that instead of doing that can go towards you getting a vehicle or getting your vehicle fixed. If you got a vehicle, that can go to anything constructive, productive. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to putting it in your body and putting destruction in your body. And the thing is, even more so than that, when you get high and you experiment with drugs, you don't know how you're going to be affected by it. That's why I say it should be avoided, because you got some people, true enough, they can get high or drunk and they got willpower. But somebody like me, I got willpower, but at the same time, I do have addictive personality. Me and my mama talk. My mama got addictive personality. So if you look at that, if you got addictive personality, that means if I try a certain drug, which I did, I may like it to the point where I can't stop. I like it so much that I'm addicted to it. So I can get addicted to something like that. So you don't want to try something like and that's why it be like an epidemic. It be drug epidemics, because people like it. Like right now, everybody on fentanyl, which is an opiate. So when you know you gotta like something so much to where you don't care if you die, and you know that this stuff is killing people. So they let you know you gotta like the feeling, the euphoric feeling that you get from the high, over you caring about you dying, or just being that addicted to something of the withdrawals, whatever, however you want to put it. You know what I'm saying? So You want to just stay sharp. That's the point of being sober. You want to stay sharp because somebody who's not high, not intoxicated, they got the edge on you whether you believe it or not. Even if you an intelligent person, even if you a sharp person, and especially when you think about it, when you out here in the streets, you know what I'm saying, you can get caught slipping like that. Like, if you high and you got somebody trying to get at you, they got the drop on you. They got the edge on you. If you drunk, they got the edge on you. Even if they are too, but you gonna be delayed because you not sharp. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm gonna just leave that one there. The next thing is, you do not want to be a premature parent. A lot of people that I know that had kids prematurely, first of all, you're not mentally equipped to be handling no baby, even if you're responsible, because you haven't developed. You know what I'm saying? So money wise, you can't really take care of a child because you being taken care of as a child. It's like, it's a disservice to yourself to become a premature parent, but it's also a disservice to the child because you haven't developed mentally enough to really pass down responsibility and knowledge and wisdom to the child that you would have been able to do had you practiced safe sex and not got pregnant in the first place, or not got somebody pregnant in the first place. And a lot of times people get people pregnant, or people get pregnant, and the grandparents have to fulfill your role as a parent because you're still a child yourself. And that creates a cycle. It creates a cycle that's harmful. Practice safe sex. You know what I'm saying? Not only just for getting somebody pregnant, but you don't want to have a disease, a sexually transmitted disease that you can't get rid of. You know what I'm saying? So that's the second thing. But you definitely don't want to have children because it can redirect your life. Let's just say you a girl or a boy that intends to become a doctor, become a lawyer, become a movie star, become a musician. You know, if you get pregnant, or if you get somebody pregnant, it's not impossible, but it brings the possibility of it happening down some notches because you gotta focus on another life. You done brought another life into this world. So the time that you have to focus on your goals can be hindered from a child. Last but not least, you want to avoid being a follower, which will prevent the other mistakes from happening in the first place. But you need to avoid being a follower because a lot of people, they think when they young that people they friends and they not. You know, or they feel like they should join the gang. They feel like they should do what the other kids do. They fall victim to peer pressure. And being a follower can lead you on all the paths that I just told you about. You know what I'm saying? And I was one. I was a follower at a point. So like I had this partner, you know, I started smoking cigarettes, not because I thought in my head like I want to smoke cigarettes. I smoked cigarettes because he offered me cigarettes and I felt like that was cool. He offered me weed. I didn't start smoking weed because I wanted to start smoking weed. I started smoking weed because I was kicking it with somebody who offered me weed. And I did it because I thought it was cool. The thing is, you should always strive, not even strive, you should always be a leader. So that means you should think your own thoughts. You should speak your own words. You should walk your own actions. Feel your own feelings. If anything happened in your life, you want to be able to look back and say, I made that decision. And I'm proud of the decision. Or I don't approve of that decision, but at least I know that nobody influenced me to do it. You will feel a whole lot better. Just think about it. If you like how we talking about you in jail and you sitting up here and you like, damn, like I really didn't want to do that, but I crashed out because dude told me to crash out instead of crashing out on your own. Even though you shouldn't crash out in the beginning, or the things I said. The other things I see, drugs. You get on drugs. Not because you wanted to get on drugs, but because somebody influenced you to get on drugs. They told you to get on drugs. You know what I'm saying? You died because of something somebody else had going on that really didn't have nothing to do with you. But you involved yourself in it. So I just feel like people should be who they want to be. Being an individual is another thing that's underrated. So anything to where as though it's like if you don't fit in, if you stand out, you lame, you weird or whatever. You get what I'm saying? And it took me a long time to not really care what people think, but I understand it. So I feel like the sooner the better, because a lot of the times if you go with your own moves, you will start to see the people that's on them type of times. I hate to say it like this, but the truth is you gonna see them fade away anyway. And if they don't fade away, when they finally do come to their senses, they gonna respect you because you always been on what you wanted to be on as opposed to what they wanted to be on. Or if they never get it, then you dodge the bullet being with them anyway. Because leaders always make it through for the most part. So do what you want to do, dress how you want to dress. You know what I'm saying? Go with your move, whatever that move is. You know what I'm saying? If you got any type of aspirations, goals, do that. Another mistake that you want to avoid is not being educated. All like through my life, I was a troubled child. I always got in trouble from like kindergarten on up to high school. Let's just say I stayed in trouble. I stayed in the office, whatever, what have you, right? But when I started wanting to do something different with my life besides being in the streets, I thought to myself like, okay, I was always inspired by my big cousin, so being a barber, that's cool. I had always been around it, but guess what though? This the kicker though. I needed a GED to get a trade, to get my barber license, to go to barber school. I needed a diploma. I needed a GED. So guess what? I got kicked out of school, high school. I didn't finish. Had a 0-point average. I had to go and get my GED to be able to go to a vocational school to get a trade. I got it. But my point is, I should have got it in the first place. So what I'm saying is a lot of times you in school and you thinking like, man, fuck school, fuck this, fuck that. Now, you may not necessarily want to go to college or get a trade, but I feel like everybody should at least get their diploma so that if you do want to further your education and not be stuck at a quote unquote dead end job, or you know, whatever you want to do, at least get your diploma. So even if you get out there and spread your wings, if you ever need to go and get a trade or go to college, you are already at least have your diploma. So and even besides like that, like even besides finishing school and getting that type of schooling education, I feel like you should be self-educated. So like if you out here in the streets, like that's another thing. Like people be thinking that it's, think about how ironic this is. People think it's dumb to be smart. You know what I'm saying? People think it's dumb to be smart. So, but like having information is very underrated. That's why it was a time when black people, it was against the law for black people to read. You know what I'm saying? Not to make this a racial thing, but my point is, for somebody to make it against the law for you to read, let you know how powerful it must be that I could have lost my life and went to prison back in the day for having information. So, you know, if you look at people like, you know, the Jay-Z's, the 50 Cents, the Nipsey Hussles, like, they were intelligent men, so that, but they were also street men. You know, they was from the streets, but they was also intelligent and self-taught. That's my point. Like, not only were they, you know, knowledgeable, but they self-taught. They all, so I feel like it's a blessing, and you will be a blessing to yourself if you just continuously educate yourself. Even if you in the streets, like don't like get off you know, the Facebooks and the IGs and the TikToks at certain points throughout the day, and educate yourself. Do something that the other folks your age ain't doing. How you gonna lead if you don't have information? So just don't make the mistake of feeling like being uneducated is cool, whether it's school or self-education. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's a lot of things that I saw coming up. It's a lot of things that I experienced, a lot of things that I observed throughout my life, because I'm 37 going on 38. But a lot of people don't got a lot of people don't have older people to teach them. So that's why I'm putting this out there. If you know somebody who need this information, you know, share it to them. You know, give it to them, bless them with it. But yeah, that's all I got for you. You know, any feedback is appreciated. Y'all be smooth.